look at the time for that upload I just did. I just got another email. I think it's a game. Let me show you the other email. The time is now 8:43. Okay, it's from Kim Coles. Time at 8:41. I guess he didn't like that picture. He posted this on September 21st, the exact same day as your visit to Dallas Police Department video. And this is where I tried to report the crimes going on with my phone. It's glitching. I just saw a picture of him. Why would I lie? Okay, the picture's coming into focus. I guess it's just bizarre. I don't know what this is about. And he said that he posted that the same day that I went here and got violated. I tried to do a welfare check on my daughter because my family would call me and taunt me like the CPS worker. They'd start arguments and do bizarre things, and sometimes they were in tears. So my daughter's stepmom told me my daughter was missing, then wouldn't answer the phone. So I went to the police department and got violated and bullied. And then they intimidated me and scared me like they were going to arrest me for trying to report my daughter was missing. I did a welfare check and got intimidated and mistreated, but the stepmother said that my daughter had ran off, and if she came over there, then let her know. But I did not talk to her. She wouldn't answer the phone after that. So they didn't do the first welfare check, and this first lady was involved. So I went back to get a second welfare check, and then they bullied, intimidated me. And that they claimed that they finally did it at 11 p.m. at night, 6 hours later. So nonetheless, the stepmom never, but I just don't perceive why people would do things like that. She called me and cursed me out for blocking traffic, and I didn't know where she lived. I said, how could I send ambulances over there and paramedics if I don't know where you live? Then she said, well, you've done other things. So I'm just not quite certain on why all these people want to contribute to psychological abuse, including family members. It's just bizarre, and you'd have to prove something like that repeatedly happens. So I called the police on the police department. They consistently keep getting away with it. But no one's putting these people under control. They keep arresting me and violating. Right here from when the ordinance comes. This is a video. Is this a crime to try to tamper with evidence? Because why would you give this a bit abusive? Because I'm reporting a crime. Theft, a $15. So I showed the mental health people that were trying to slander me with mental illness how I was arrested for trying to report a theft. Okay, that's one. Okay, these are just the ones I recorded. Then when I said, when they got caught in the scheme and I started recording it, these are multiple police departments committing crimes. So when I said that I don't want to hurt myself. What department was this? This was Edison. Okay. Hello? You live in Edison? Listen. Here's something to tell you. So they entice businesses to commit crimes to enforce abuse. Hold on a second. This is a risk that we're seeing. I'm going to fast forward it. On my daughter, which is criminal. Kiana, do you want to hurt yourself? She's still asking me if I want to hurt myself and trying to frame me with mental illness. Okay, are you hearing and seeing things other people don't hear? No, I just want to do a police report, and you guys have been getting with felonies long enough. Are you diagnosed with any mental illness? No. Okay. Are you taking medication? No, I want to know why you didn't do the welfare check on my daughter. That's a crime. Kiana, I report the child abuse. I did. Well, no one has ever called me regarding the child abuse. Those are crimes. I called you and I left you. No, I don't. Don't have a message on my phone. If my cell phone provider would investigate all the chaos, I never got a call from you. I don't know about that. I know that the welfare check was done twice. She had to say that she did it because she's not doing a welfare check on the child. I imagine that's mandatory reporting, and that would be a crime. I don't think about that. Okay, well, no one has done an investigation. No, this is child abuse. It's more serious than you try to frame it. So I'm back on the child abuse, because if you're trying to frame me for these people to get away with their crimes, you're committing criminal offense. She's 12, and I told you last time that she was in an abusive situation, and you covered for it and ignored it. No one called me regarding it. These are some big time crimes that you guys are committing. No welfare check was done. Okay, well, I reported that September 24th, 2011. My daughter. The problem with her saying a welfare check is done, they told me that a welfare check wasn't done. This was what I was trying to show the other day, so I put my information in there, and it corrected. Wow. I saw all these me sites. There it goes. There were some of them. So they're putting in all my mug shots. So when I go searching for my thing, it just corrected that quick. So when I look for my videos, I don't see them because it's all me. And me being cyberbullied, mug shots, and all kind of other slander, but it corrected immediately when I started recording. So that means that someone's controlling my feed. And I've already tried to report that to the police. That's how songs could play and different things that people, they know that you'd never believe. So it corrected. Now here's the video of the welfare check. Which is a felony. I've already reported the crime to keep me away from my daughter. Report, you would have had evidence that I was a conspiracy to violate my civil rights. That's the one I reported that I'm banned at places that I haven't been. And there's 60-something reports that are being investigated. Can you tell me why they would detain me for reporting child abuse? What is it with the police? Why would they want me to enforce that I don't have access to my daughter?
There's a lot about it.
Well, do you have it? Why would the police enforce?
That's the report number right there.
Why would the police department enforce that I don't have access to my daughter? So here, okay, so he said that he was going to call the officer out. So what is going to happen? I asked him what's going to happen.
He's going to do a report.
I want to know what's going on with my daughter. I don't know why so many parties want to keep me in distress over my child.
Who your daughter is.
Right, are they going to call me and let me know?
There's a report right there.
So it's a scam for psychological abuse. So the stepmother was in cahoots to call me and say that she's missing. So my question is, if I came in here to report that my daughter's missing, and you got to prove something like this is happening. I did. So the police department knew it was a scheme, so I'd be in emotional distress. I would like to know what's going on with my child. And play mind games. It's gaslighting.
We got to investigate.
Okay, so it's not realistic, so you got to prove it. Okay, because normally what they do is they keep me in emotional distress on purpose. So someone will call me?
Yes.
Okay, so are you going to call or send a car out to figure out what's going on while they call me an emergency situation, then when return my calls?
What emergency situation are you
in? They said something was going on, my daughter was missing. That's what the...
Did you report her missing?
That's why I'm here. Okay, so that's enough of this, but it's uploaded to this channel. That's
you gave the officer your daughter's information. There's a report number
the same day I did a second one because they claimed that they didn't do that to send someone out to see what's going on? Daylight, but they play games so I can be in psychological distress. But people don't realize, I know that my experience is not realistic. I would be at home smiling alone. And then someone would call me and insult me, degrade me, and curse me out home alone. I'm by your car, you're disgusting, and just sitting at home. Then, or something would happen, if I go out and try to enjoy my day. I went to a lake and I was scared to get out. And then on my caseworker's day off, she gave me a TV. That was the only thing that she gave me. She gave me no programs, no help. She demanded the TV back when I went to the lake on her day off on a Sunday. But this is a repeated thing that I couldn't talk about. Who would believe that someone would illegally monitor you and want to make sure that you're in a constant state of emotional distress and use anybody that they can to facilitate that? These are things that you can't communicate, but if you put all these pieces together, you have evidence of it. How is it that I just left a location, they would start arguments and my phone came up missing when it was impossible for it to be missing, and my rings? The rings weren't even expensive, but that's problematic to me. And I had other rings in different locations. All of them are missing. All the rings. But I repeatedly experienced things like this. Robberies, thefts of perfume, different things. And I just couldn't report it because I knew it wasn't realistic. Who would believe that someone has had someone come in there and still lip gloss? You can't report something like that. What about the earrings that was in my tent? I can't say that someone broke into a tent and stole earrings. I can't really report my experiences, and you just have to gradually build up with evidence of what I'm experiencing. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the welfare check, and they're playing games. From nowhere, abating 30 almost. They have me on hold, long pauses to make it drawn out and traumatic. When my daughter was hit. I realized that at the time I didn't realize what was going on. It looks when stalkers run the government. But it's psychological warfare. They're deliberately trying to cause a nervous breakdown with procedural behavior, repeated behavior, and psychological abuse, intimidation, and bullying, and mind games.
I don't have one, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Are you police?
I'm not. Yeah. You said what now?
You're not a police?
No.
Okay, so I don't know who to talk to. I made a report. My 12-year-old was missing. I got a call that she was missing and I asked for a 12-year-old. That doesn't sound like a good behavior for police.
To deny a welfare check.
Officers wouldn't do a welfare check for you?
They were trying to sabotage a welfare check, but I'd like to know, when you request a welfare check, aren't you 11? What is the time now? 11:05?
What if you did a welfare check, you call 911 to ask a welfare check at what time?
He's looking to see if they did the welfare check.
I don't have his badge number. This is really, really sick. I think that this is just really disgusting. This child is 12. She witnessed my false arrest at 8. And I have no clue what the government has been enlisted to do. I don't know why it is sick. You need to know it. Stealing food stamps, a baby 30 grand in child support, covering for a stalker, working for the stalker.
He hung up and wouldn't give me the details of the welfare check.
This is the service I get. He hung up. It's sick. I already know the games they play. It's happened year after year after year.
So they deliberately do scheme for emotional distress.
They would normally start an argument on their own.
That's why they came to bus stops when I'm alone, came to KFC, and they do other petty mind games that you wouldn't believe, so I can't communicate it. Leaving when I'm trying to get services, leaving the front desk repeatedly over and over. Now they want, I'm panicking over my child. And they want, it's deliberate.
The police department?
They're scheming together.
I feel like I'm in the civil rights movement trying to get
about the welfare check, but I'm terrified.
And a social worker.
So look at how he treats me.
They have not called me back.
Okay.
So they're also covering for child abuse and my sabotage child custody rights.
So I'm nervous.
I don't know why police would enforce that. But right now, at the time, I would like a welfare check for my 12-year-old child.
Okay, and where is he at now?
It's a she.
It's a she. Where's she at now?
Earlier today, her stepmom called me and said that she was missing if I find her. And then I was at work, so I really couldn't talk. And I told her I'd call her right back, but they play games a lot.
Okay.
And the stepmom has been abusive, emotionally abusive, and my child is going through a lot right now because a lot of people.
So they called me and told me they were going to give my child away to CPS because she had a meltdown because she missed me.
So we can see you talk, ma'am.
I'm trying to do a welfare check and look at how they're standing.
A lot of parties are tampering with evidence to keep me away from my child and covering up for the crime. The police department, the court.
It's deliberate for psychological abuse and mind games.
Is what you're telling me.
Not for today. I'm just giving you an outline. Because if my child is in an environment that's not safe, why would police, why would the court,
look at that,
why would social workers, why would all these people be enlisted to commit a crime? To keep me away from my child and enforce her not being in a safe environment.
So, this is traumatic for me to even look and see how I'm repeatedly treated with a YouTube channel exposing it, and people repeatedly rack up felonies left and right, and no one is doing anything to my knowledge to stop it. I'm still in it. So I go to churches, and then it's psychological abuse at churches. When I'm sharing, they'll cut me off. Like I don't have value. Someone will talk about something minute and ask for prayer, and I'm talking about something serious about being targeted by the government, and I'm disregarded. Mind games. I know that they control my environments. So this is like at church, disregarded. I forgot that your life was in jeopardy for 2 or 3 months in one church. And then I'm like, you forgot? Tell me again how your life is in jeopardy. So I tell them again, and then they forgot again. And then, but I kept moving churches, and I realized that someone was controlling the church. But if you're a godly person, I don't care if you carry a badge and gun. How are you going to let someone tell you to conspire with abuse and mental pain and anguish? If you're a legitimate minister and you really genuinely have a relationship with God, I'm not trying to judge anyone, but how are you going to let someone with a badge and gun entice you to commit crimes and conspire with abuse? I just don't understand it. But they do it. So
once again,
yes, ma'am.
So they have me repeat myself over and over in malice, pretend like they can't understand.
We won't investigate it.
No, are you
at the police department?
Right.
Okay, and who are these people that you have talked to, ma'am?
At the police department?
Yes, ma'am.
I talked to E. Davis.
And look
I have talked to Bill. I have talked to
deliberately
Gooding. I have talked to Fox. And Fox has had a copy of the custody.
Who's Fox, ma'am?
Supposed to be Sergeant Fox.
Sergeant Fox, okay.
I've talked to the...
So what would happen is that I couldn't report. I sit at home and then finally get peace of mind. Ring, ring. My kids will call and start arguments. Ring, ring. You sent fire trucks over here. What are you talking about? Ring, ring. You stole money from me 5 years ago. What in the world? Ring, ring. Your daughter's missing. Ring, ring. Somebody hit me. And then it just would not answer. And then I go to the police. They set it up. It's a conspiracy together. So they set it up and I get violated. So they would lure me out by committing crimes and giving me something to report and punish me and mistreat, cause psychological damage for me reporting it. But you can't prove that your family is in cahoots. Like when the police department came over my sister's house on blatant lies. Set me up twice, just sitting there. Police department, knock, knock. Yes, I did a white warrant because the police department kept doing it on their own. So my sister was in the cahoots and said I did a white warrant. They didn't want me to know because white warrants are when someone is a threat to themselves and others, and I wasn't. They were just trying to set me up, but I was recording. So the second time around, they set me up on blatant lies. They tried to not give me time, but my sister was acting peculiar, so I immediately started recording the end of it. So this is just armies full of people. I'm just sitting there and the police department comes to take my freedom like at the bus stop. So why am I going into detail? Because I want you to know how extreme this corruption is for even when I'm sitting at environments. Ring, ring. Then ring, ring, I'm at your car, B. Ring, ring, I'm going to drag you all across the shelter. Just in my own place, not bothering anyone, but someone is deliberately trying to cause emotional distress. Ring, ring, multiple different times a day. You're never going to see your daughter again. You get that? And I'm questioning how is it possible a CPS worker could prank call and terrorize someone 2 or 3 times a day? Some kind of way she has she's a mobile CPS office that I can't go to meet her. Some kind of way she has a state-issued cell phone, so I can't contact her at CPS. It had crimes written all over it. So I go to Tyler Police and I play these recorded calls on how she was talking to me. Then I say I don't really think she's a CPS worker. They both get caught in lies, and he gave me a criminal trespass from the police department. I did all this extensive paperwork showing how I had multiple different false arrests, the crimes to keep me away from multiple different children. It took me hours to complete this report that never had follow-up. Okay, well, I'm trying to communicate better and calm down. This is just a video diary of what's happening today in the history of misconduct and felonies, racked up felonies to kingdom come. I don't know why the government wants to torture their citizens. This man claims that I'm some kind of government experiment. I just don't understand how that would benefit the government to terrorize one of its citizens. How can that benefit this country by mistreating a citizen and enlisting civilians in criminal activity?